Throughout history, there have been various claims challenging the mainstream narrative of Columbus as the first non-Indigenous explorer to reach the Americas. One of the most compelling theories comes from Marcus Garvey, a prominent figure in the Pan-African movement, who believed that African civilizations arrived in the Americas long before Columbus. In this video, we will explore the evidence behind Garvey's theory and delve into fascinating discoveries that suggest ancient African contact with the Americas. Introduction to Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey was a visionary leader in the early 20th century who advocated for the empowerment and unity of African people globally. A key part of his ideology was the belief in Africa's rich and powerful civilizations, capable of impressive feats, including maritime exploration. Garvey proposed that Africans had reached the Americas before European explorers, an idea that sparked widespread debate and controversy. Why Garvey believed Africans reached America. First, Garvey's belief in African seafaring capabilities stemmed from his deep pride in African history. He argued that African civilizations, such as those of Egypt and Mali, were advanced in shipbuilding and navigation. According to Garvey, these cultures were more than capable of making transatlantic journeys. He saw these early voyages as symbolic of Africa's strength and influence, rejecting the Eurocentric view of exploration history. Theories of African maritime expeditions. Garvey pointed to historical figures like Mansa Abubakari II, ruler of the Mali Empire, as proof of Africa's exploratory spirit. According to Arab historians, such as Al-Umari, Abubakari abdicated his throne in the early 14th century to embark on a voyage across the Atlantic with a large fleet of ships. Although this expedition disappeared from records, many believed that it could have reached the Americas, predating Columbus by nearly 2 centuries. Egyptian sarcophagi, an archaeological mystery. One of the most intriguing pieces of evidence cited by those who support Garvey's theory is the discovery of Egyptian sarcophagi containing traces of tobacco and cocaine, substances native only to the Americas. How could these plants have made their way into the ancient Egyptian world? While some scholars dismiss this as contamination or coincidence, others argue that it could point to early contact between Africans and the Americas. Other evidence of African presence in the Americas. In addition to the sarcophagi, there are carvings, oral traditions, and shared cultural artifacts that suggest African contact with the Americas. Carvings in both West Africa and parts of Central and South America bear striking similarities, and some even claim that the massive Olmec heads found in Mesoamerica resemble African features. These artifacts, combined with oral traditions of transatlantic journeys, fuel the idea that African explorers made it to the Americas long before Europeans. Genetic studies and cultural similarities. Recent genetic studies have also explored possible links between indigenous populations in the Americas and groups from West Africa. These studies, while still inconclusive, add weight to the theory that there may have been some level of interaction between the two continents. Additionally, similarities in boat-building techniques and architectural styles found across West Africa and pre-Columbian America provide further clues. Arab historians and Columbus's observations. Further support for Garvey's theory comes from Arab historians who chronicled African voyages across the Atlantic. Al-Umari, for instance, recorded the story of Mansa Abubakari II and his belief in lands across the ocean. Moreover, Christopher Columbus himself, upon arriving in the Americas, reported seeing Africans with gold-tipped spears. According to Columbus, the gold was similar to that found in Guinea, West Africa, suggesting possible trade or contact between the two regions. The debate and criticism. Despite the intriguing evidence, Garvey's theory has faced significant skepticism from mainstream historians. Many argue that the evidence is either circumstantial or not scientifically proven. Critics claim that while Africa had advanced civilizations, the idea of large-scale African contact with the Americas before Columbus remains speculative. However, in recent years, new archaeological and genetic evidence has reignited interest in the possibility of pre-Columbian African contact. Some scholars argue that dismissing these theories entirely reflects a Eurocentric bias in historical narratives. Garvey's legacy and influence. Garvey's ideas have had a lasting impact on scholars and thinkers interested in Africa's global historical influence. His theories of African exploration continue to inspire pride in African heritage and challenge traditional histories. Whether or not Africans reached the Americas before Columbus, Garvey's vision of Africa's strength and ingenuity remains a powerful part of his legacy. The question of whether Africans arrived in the Americas before Columbus remains open to debate. The evidence, while not definitive, provides a fascinating lens through which we can view history. Could African explorers have set foot on American soil centuries before Europeans? Let us know what you think in the comments. Could Garvey have been right all along?